We have to pivot today. Boy, do we have to pivot. Let's discuss why on today's segment of Sats on Saturday. What's going on, champions? It's your coach, MJ, back at you with another episode of Sats and Success. It's time for us to learn and grow, so let's go. Man, there is nothing like a crisp fall morning. Nothing like it. But I digress. We got to discuss this pivot because did I have an incredible segment for you guys here on today. I had something that was absolutely monumental, life-changing information, and we're going to discuss it. I'm going to bring it back, but I absolutely could not come on today's video and discuss anything other than this Bitcoin correction. Yes, I call it a correction. Some people may call it a dump, a crash. It's just a correction. And I had to discuss that here on today and as to what happened on yesterday. Now, before I get into that, let's take a look at um, Bitcoin's current price. It's trading at $112,400, down about 7.5% over the last 24 hours. We got ETH. Man, ETH crashed. The altcoins, they fell hard. You got ETH trading at $3,800 over the last 24 hours. It's down 12%. We have XRP down 13% over the last 24 hours, trading at $2.44. Solana down. Man, Solana's down 17 over, almost 18% in the last 24 hours, trading at $182. Doge down 23% for you meme coin lovers, trading at 19 cents. I just sold before the crash. I had just sold out of some of my Doge position right before this crash. So, and I didn't see it coming. So it wasn't like I was looking at the charts and saying, this is a good time to take some profits. I just needed to take some profits, wanted to take some profits. You should always take some profits when you're trading not only crypto but stocks as well. All right, man, ADA down 20% in the last 24 hours, back down to 65 cent a coin. Um, this I say this frequently for you guys that's been rocking with me for a while. I say this often. There's two things I want you guys to understand about what took place yesterday. Now, what took place yesterday with this correction had to do a lot with the reignited conversation for trade. U.S., China, it's been back and forth um, in regards to this trade agreement. And I guess things got reignited and caused a sell-off. It caused a sell-off not only in the crypto space, but it caused a sell-off in the traditional markets as well. Everything sold off. Everything sold off yesterday. It was a straight bloodbath. But when you look at, in particular, Bitcoin and crypto, this is kind of par for the course. We have these corrections in a bull run that typically are 20 to 30%. Yesterday, we saw a Bitcoin correct down about 17% from the new all-time high we just recently hit. So we hit a new all-time high, and then a week later, we have a 17% correction. If you go back and look at the cycles, all right, the 4-year halving cycles of Bitcoin, go back and look at the cycles. The year after the halving, when we're in that parabolic phase, you will see several 20 to 30% corrections. So far, we've only had only one 20% correction. And that was when Bitcoin ran up to like 109 and it came back down to like 75,000. That was it. People have these questions as to, and they speculate as to whether or not this cycle is different. It looks different, but then it doesn't look different. It is different, but it's not. What do I mean by that? Again, we typically see 20 to 30% corrections. We've only saw one. The volatility in Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto space, the rest of these altcoins, they are very, very volatile assets. But the volatility has seemed to tamper down a bit. We're not seeing the volatility that we've seen in years past. So history, you know, although it can repeat, it never rhymes. So we're doing the same things. It's just in a different way. So that's why I say yes, the cycles um, are the same, but no, they're not. And there are two things I want you to take away from today. Two things I want you to take away from yesterday's correction. One, I've said this repeatedly over and over and over again, and I was beginning to get to this point, and I'm finally here. So stay with me. We're going somewhere. I always say, understand what you hold. Understand what you hold. See, there was a lot of people that freaked out, a lot of people that wigged out yesterday, sold off their life changing wealth because they do not or did not know what they hold. They didn't understand what they hold. I don't care what type of correction Bitcoin has. It's still the scarcest asset humanity has ever seen. It's still a deflationary asset that I want as much as I possibly can get my hands on. So when I see corrections like yesterday and it goes back to 105.8, oh my goodness, was I happy. Oh my goodness, was I happy. And so was a lot of other wealthy people or people who understand this asset. They were happy to pick up a scarce asset at a Black Friday price. And that's exactly how I saw it yesterday. How did you see it? Were you wigging out? Were you panicking? Because I guarantee there was a ton of people panicking, a ton of people wigging out, selling off their life changing wealth because they got in at 125, they got in at 120, they got in at 115 as they saw the price moving up, and they didn't want to miss out, so they FOMO'd in, don't understand what they hold, and they got shook out. And guess what? Bitcoin's going to run back up to 135, 140, 150, and we're going to have another correction very similar to what we saw yesterday, and people gonna get shaken out again because they don't understand what they hold. So if you get nothing from today's video, if you plan on entering the Bitcoin and crypto space, if you are in the Bitcoin and crypto space, do your homework, understand what you hold. That's one. The second thing I want you to leave here with on today. Calm down. Calm down. There's only one thing that you should ever do out of emotion. Love. Love out of emotion. Okay? But anger, frustration, panic, fear, don't do those things out of your emotional state. Okay? Because when you do things out of fear, when you do things out of anger, when you do things out of panic, out of frustration, the result is almost always never good. And so many people sold off their life changing wealth out of fear, out of panic. Calm down, champions. Calm down. Okay? Let's act like we've been here before, even though some of you may not have been. Okay? So I hope that you guys take those two things and you take them to heart. Because if you want to have success in this asset class, Bitcoin and crypto, you want to have success in this asset class, those are the two things you absolutely have. That's your price to admission. You got to know what you hold and you got to stay calm. Okay? That's all I got for you guys here on today. Exciting day. My Illini take on the Buckeyes. I've been getting all kind of flack from people. And you know, I'm a realist. I'm not expecting us to beat Ohio State, even though it's a home game for us. What I am expecting is to take a look and see how far our program has come under Brett Bielema. This is a barometer game for me, And so I'm excited to see how we get after it and what ways we need to improve upon moving forward. So enjoy your weekend. Be a blessing to someone. Calm down. Do your homework. And I look forward to seeing you guys for Motivational Monday. Peace.